tell me about your experience learning English. You learned English in school, I imagine,
Yeah,
in
when
Vietnamese. And then how did you, like, when did you feel like you really, like, when you started to acquire English? Because my student, she studied English also for 16 years. But then
yeah,
when she felt like she really acquired English was when we did the stories. And then she
yes,
started,
yes.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I first started learning English when I was in grade three,
Mm-hmm.
and all the way up to grade 12. And I finished, the national curriculum and do the test to get university.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was 22, I
Mm-hmm.
did the TOEIC test for the
Mm.
first time, and my score was 815.
Mm.
It was quite good
Mm.
for me at that time, but even though I was at that score, I couldn't speak
Mm.
any English.
Mm.
I even went to Hoàn Kiếm Lake in Hanoi,
Mm.
the capital.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And in that place there are a lot of foreigners, and I try to find one and I try to speak to that people, but
Mm.
still no. In
Mm.
my head I was like, what is the conditional structure? What is
Uh-huh.
the present tense?
Mm.
I want to speak this, but I couldn't say
Mm.
anything, and I got stuck. And then I found a YouTube channel,
Mm.
um, learning English
Mm.
through TV series.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I watch some of their videos, and I even try to take some notes.
Mm-hmm.
And then after a while, I fed up with taking notes. I stopped
Mm-hmm.
doing that and I
Mm.
just watch
Just
these
watch.
videos.
Mm.
Yeah. Like they have content about the Ellen show,
Mm-hmm.
some music, Taylor Swift, yeah, that kind
Mm-hmm.
of stuff.
Mm.
Yeah, and then they explain the word,
Mm.
to help what audience to understand.
Mm.
And one day I found the video explaining their method, and they mentioned Stephen Krashen. Yeah,
Ah.
and that was the
Mm.
first time I heard of him, and then I looked him up.
Mm.
Yeah, and that is the first time that I got involved into that. And after that, I also watched a lot of TV series and sitcoms and read books.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at the age of 23.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and now
Mm.
I can, I speak much better.
Mm.
And
Yes,
my
your
TOEIC
English is
score,
excellent.
my TOEIC score also went up,
Mm.
965.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's
So,
awesome. That's very good though that you were able to find that those materials and be able to gain confidence and be able to acquire English.
yeah,
What?
when
Mm-hmm.
you read book, you didn't know, you sometimes
Mm.
you get bored and you was just thinking like, oh, how am I going forward with this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
then finally, the result come. You can think in English, you
Mm-hmm.
can speak in English,
Mm-hmm.
without
Yes.
trying, yeah,
Mm.
to reinform the structures.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. I think that that's such a obstacle for
Mm,
students. Like when they learn the grammar and then they try to think in the grammar,
mm,
and then that just makes it so slow, and it's not at all what we do when we really speak the language because it just comes out
mm,
naturally. And so yeah, like I said with Vietnamese, with the other languages that I have learned through comprehensible input, like I don't know any of the rules. Like I can't explain to you like why it's like that, but I have a feeling that maybe this is right and maybe some other way is wrong. So I think that that's the best way to do it, because if you're so worried about grammar rules, then you'll be afraid to speak because you're afraid to make a mistake.
Yeah.
right? But children don't do that. Children don't know the rules and they don't care, so they can speak very freely. And they make mistakes. They have some problems, but they can speak very well, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, I just think that worrying about the rules is silly.
I remember I didn't try to study Chinese grammar, but
Mm-hmm.
Chinese grammar is very similar to
Yes.
Vietnamese. Yeah,
Yes.
so.
Yes. So because see, before I started doing Vietnamese, I did Chinese,
Mm.
and my Chinese was pretty good
What?
until I studied. 我也会说中文，但是
好。
现在我的中文我的中文也出不来. So like I like Vietnamese is trying to come out right now. Well,
Okay.
so because the grammar is the same, so like when I try to speak Chinese, then Vietnamese words come to my mouth right now
Mm.
because
Mm.
I haven't studied Chinese like for the last 2 years.
Oh,
So yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, so I need to review, but yes. So I was interested. I wanted to know also about your experience learning Chinese. Like,
Oh,
yeah, what kind of resources did you use
yeah,
did you
I have
find?
the app.
Mm-hmm.
I can show you. Yeah, Tú Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
Tú,
Do? Uh-huh.
Tú
Okay.
Chinese.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this. Yeah.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Do Chinese, and they have
mm-hmm.
about a lot of story. And up to now, I have read. Can you see the number?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this
Okay.
is the number of lessons that I have
Many,
read.
3,000, almost
And
3,500.
yeah,
Mm.
and I think the app is really good. It's just read, and they have the English translation
Mm-hmm.
above that, and you read and you listen.
Mm.
Just that.
Mm.
Mm.
Yes. Yes, I can still listen to Chinese. Like sometimes I listen to podcasts in
Mm.
Chinese, but I can't when I try to speak Chinese. It's Vietnamese that comes out now. So yeah, I kind of knew that would happen. So I'm okay with that though because I actually like Vietnamese better than Chinese. So
Why
yes.
is it
Um,
easier?
no, it's because I have friends that are
Mm.
Vietnamese, and so like with Chinese, I have a lot of students that are Chinese, but they all want to speak English or Japanese, and so like I can never like I don't have anybody close
Mm.
that I can use Chinese with, or that is like kind
Oh.
of like um, somebody that I am interested in having a relationship with,
Mm.
like friends or somebody that I would talk with. But with Vietnamese, I have people that
Mm.
that I want to interact with, and I want to be able to speak with them in Vietnamese. So maybe it's kind of a motivational thing.
Mm.
Like I'm interested in that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Currently, I also have no one to talk to in Chinese.
yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of hard. I also previously I was learning Hungarian.
Mm.
And it was the same situation. Like I was just interested in Hungarian, but I don't know I've never even met anybody from Hungary.
Oh.
So I did Hungarian for like a year,
Okay.
but and I got to where I could understand a lot, but I don't know. There's something missing if you don't have like somebody that you want to have a relationship with. I
Mm.
think in the language, like I think that's really important. That doesn't have anything to do with like input or study or anything like that. It's just like a desire to have a connection with somebody. Yeah, I think
Mm.
that's important
Yeah.
because learning a language takes a long time, and you can't do it just because interested in the language or because, it's like a hobby or something like that. I think,
Yeah.
yeah.
Are you interested in teaching Japanese or English through subject matters?
Oh, like content
Like
content courses.
through math or
Mhm.
science or chemistry, physics kind of thing?
Um, Maybe not those courses, but maybe like history or art.
History.
Art, yeah, maybe
Yeah.
like the history of art, something like that. Yeah, sometimes I like the stories that I tell are not stories. Like sometimes there are history.
Mm.
Like I'll tell something, yeah. So yes, I think that's very compatible with CI, with
Mm.
comprehensible input. Like
Yeah.
to,
Yeah, because I heard Stephen question mention that.
hmm
First you learn, for example, physics in your native language, and
hmm
then you relearn it.
hmm
You learn it again through English.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is it harder to do it compared to just story listening?
Um,
I
it's
think, yeah, because
yeah,
you have to learn the knowledge of math and physics.
yes. This is
Yeah.
and that's why I can't teach math or physics in Japanese, but like things like history, stories about Japanese history, or um, something about art history or something like that. Because I was an art student when I was
Okay.
in college in university.
Mm,
Yeah, and then I changed to linguistics and language acquisition when I was like a master's student, a PhD student.
mm,
Yeah. So I have some knowledge about like art and like the humanities. Yeah. So I like to teach some of those things to my students.
mm,
Yeah. Um, it's it can be a little bit hard for students to learn those things when they are very beginning in
it's
Japanese.
true.
Yeah, so when you teach something like that, you have to make it very, very simple
Mm,
and maybe cover just one simple point.
mm,
Like if you're talking about like a historical person, maybe you just tell one thing about that person. Like you can't
mm,
talk about a big history or something like that. You just tell one thing. Like maybe they were a nice person and they helped other people, or just something very simple.
mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But when students get to higher levels, like I used to teach a couple of years ago, I was teaching an upper intermediate listening class.
Mm,
And so in that class, it was nice because I just told stories 100% of the time. The
mm.
teacher before me, like they usually what they do in the listening class is they make the students listen to news.
News.
Yeah, and like so the
Um,
students listen to news and then they have to answer questions about
the
the
news.
news. Yeah, and so it's very boring. Um, but yeah, I told stories about all kinds of things to those students, and it was very nice because they were at a level where they could understand Japanese quite well, and so I
Mm,
just told them anything, like whatever
mm,
story I wanted to tell them. I would tell them jokes, I would tell
mm.
them all kinds of things, and it was very fun.
People in Vietnam, they often criticize each other about about their English.
Mhm.
Like there is currently a drama about this young man teaching IELTS,
Mhm.
and he gave a presentation on TED Talk, and his pronunciation isn't very good, and then
Mhm.
people started to go into that and
Mm.
criticize him. That is
Mm.
so scary.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And what do you think about my English in the story listening videos that
Mhm.
I did?
I think that it's very good. Yes, I think that your pronunciation is good and that your English is very high level. That was kind of my
Like,
first impression.
um,
Yeah.
what story? did you watch?
What one was it? I listened to one that you were telling, I think, a little boy about a cat and a mouse.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And I can't remember the other one. I think. Do you tell the? I think there was one where you told the story of the cat woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
I learned that from Beniko
Beniko, yes. Because I also tell that story sometimes in Japanese to my
Oh,
students, and so I was interested to see that you were telling it. Yeah.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes, I think it's hard for a lot of people to understand at first because it's so different. And I think that just in general, a lot of people don't believe that acquiring another language is possible.
Yeah,
Like no matter what way you use, no matter what method, like they don't think that it's possible.
yeah, without like grammar and vocabulary.
Even with grammar or vocabulary, like because so many
Oh.
people have failed at learning another language, like when they go to university and they have to study another language, like almost zero people leave university with like really being able to speak another language. So everybody has this failure. Like Japanese, there's so many Japanese people that studied English for 16 years and studied English in university, and they don't speak English, and so they think that it's impossible to learn another language. Yeah, they have this idea that it's not possible to happen, and so it doesn't matter. Like if you tell them that you can do it, like they just don't believe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to reading and listening, like, when they heard about reading, they got bored immediately. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have
Yeah.
time to read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That.
So I always tell my students that I want them to do the things that they would do when they don't want to study, but I want them to do those things in Japanese. Because like when they don't want to study, then they want to watch Netflix, or they want to watch look at Facebook or something, and so I tell them do that, but use Japanese to do it. And that will be the best thing that you can do.
Okay.
Yeah.